It's just super weird. I remember you asked me if I wanted to smoke, and I don't really smoke anymore. And I actually for the longest time in my whole life. I couldn't really explain this. I couldn't really bring it to like words and try to explain it to where I wasn't where it just because was it made no sense. But I talked to a couple of my buddies and they were like, "Oh, it's the same thing." So a lot of my friends from smoking weed, it's almost like a depersonalization thing, to where it feels like for the longest time since I smoked one bad joint, and for the longest time ever since then, it's felt like I've been almost watching my life happen instead of actually living it. Does that make sense?
It does. If you had an episode, if you smoked one bad joint and you got way too high and you had a break, some sort of a schizophrenic break or some sort of strange episode.
And it just feels like a lot of the time it's like I'm not doing it. It's almost as I'm watching it happen.
Still to this day?
To this day, a lot of the time, yeah.
And it happened because of that one time.
I had never felt it in my life before that.
Wow.
So it's and I talked to my friends, and they were like, "Oh, that's like depersonalization." I don't exactly know what happens or what goes on, but it's a pretty common thing. I feel like for people who have had a negative experience with THC or something.
Yeah,
like that.
there's
or whatever the fuck was in that joint that I had in LA that one time.
Right. You don't know what was in it. That's true too.
Maybe it was just fucking LSD or something, and it totally just caught me, but I felt different. To this day, I still feel different.
That's so weird. But it could just be THC. This guy Alex Berenson wrote a book about it. It's called "Tell Your Children," and it's about how there's a certain percentage of people that, especially with high dose THC, they can have a schizophrenic break or a psychotic break. Something goes wrong.
I used to smoke crazy. I used to smoke a lot, do the volcanoes and all that shit. That's so fun. It was
and
so
one
fun.
One time.
Wow,
that's crazy.
One time.
Maybe there was something in it.
I don't
know. When you're just getting a joint from some dude,
yeah,
you don't know the chain of custody. You don't know what the fuck.
No idea.
Where was this cooked up?
No idea.
Ron White was in the green room at the club one night, and he pulled out this joint. And he goes, "This joint costs $75." I go, "What the fuck is that?" He goes, "Got it from Beverly Hills." I go, "Keep that shit the fuck away from me." So all these other guys smoked it. Brian Simpson smoked it. Duncan Trussell smoked it. And they went on stage. And Duncan said he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. He was like, "What did you do to me? What the fuck? I thought it was weed." But they get these joints now in these crazy dispensaries in L.A., where it's legal now, so they're lacing them with THC. They got THC crystals in them and keef in them, and these are not regular joints. These are for dudes like Be Real, the kind of shit that he smokes. Be Real. Shout out to my man Be Real from Cypress Hill.
Explicitly for Be Real.
Yes.
That is the only man who can smoke this joint.
That dude is stone cold sober, no matter how high he gets.
That is crazy, man. I wonder, a lot of my buddies are like that too, man. You have to smoke a lot to feel high.
Yeah, I can't keep up with those fellas. I can't keep up with those. I did his smoke box show, where they get you super high and they put you in this dope car and they have cameras in the car and you sit there and just
hotbox the car?
Hotbox the car. And it's ridiculous. I was so high, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go to bed.
I get high. I'm convinced too. I get secondhand high from my green room.
Oh, you
my
definitely
buddies
do.
fucking blow down.
You definitely do. I've seen people get secondhand high from me in this room. I've seen it where they're all of a sudden they have a hard time remembering what they're talking about. I go, "Bro, you got high. You got high whether you liked it or not."
And maybe I am high.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a touch.
It's nice. I had a stint too where I tried to smoke maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's amazing, but then just shrooms is for me just so much more fun for me.
Shrooms should be legal. God.
Yeah.
Because, if you are, I'm